Lord my God, I come before you with a tired heart, yet still believing, with an afflicted soul, yet still waiting, with eyes perhaps filled with tears, yet still lifted toward heaven, because I know that even when everything seems to take too long, you are never late, you never fail, you never forget, and you never abandon those who trust in you. Beloved Father, in this moment I place myself in your presence, not as someone who has all the answers, not as someone strong enough to carry the weight of waiting alone, not as someone who understands every road life has led me through, but as a child who needs your embrace, your voice, your direction, and your peace. Lord, there are moments when waiting hurts. There are moments when the silence feels too heavy. There are moments when the promise seems far away, when prayer seems unanswered, when time seems to move slowly, and the heart begins to wonder when the doors will open, when healing will come, when change will happen, when what has been placed before you will finally bloom. But today, my God, even feeling the fragility of my humanity, I choose to pray. I choose not to run from your presence. I choose not to harden my heart. I choose not to turn my waiting into bitterness. I choose to turn my waiting into an altar. Father, I surrender my hurry to you. I surrender the anxiety that tries to rule my thoughts. I surrender this restlessness that sometimes wakes me on the inside before the day even begins. I surrender the questions I do not know how to answer, the fears I try to hide, the desires I struggle to release, and the expectations that so often make me suffer. Lord, I recognize that my heart wants quick answers, visible signs, clear paths, and immediate security. But your word teaches me that everything has its appointed time, and there is a time for every purpose under heaven. So, Father, help me rest in this truth, not only to repeat it with my lips, but to receive it in the depths of my soul. Teach me, Lord, that your time is not empty. Teach me that your time is not delay. Teach me that your time is not forgetfulness. Teach me that while I wait, you are working. While I pray, you are preparing. While I cannot see, you are arranging. While I cry, you are gathering my tears. While I think nothing is happening, you are moving things my eyes cannot yet perceive. Father, I want to learn to trust you when the answer has not yet arrived. I want to learn to worship you when the door has not yet opened. I want to learn to remain faithful when the scenery still looks the same. I want to learn to walk by faith and not only by what I see. My God, how many times I wanted to rush processes that you were guiding with wisdom. How many times I asked to leave quickly from places where you were still teaching me something. How many times I wanted to harvest before the right season, not realizing that fruit picked too early may look beautiful on the outside, but is not yet ready within. Lord, forgive me for every time I confused waiting with abandonment. Forgive me for every time I looked at the lives of others and thought you were doing more for them than for me. Forgive me for every time comparison stole my gratitude, anxiety stole my peace, and impatience made me doubt your care. Father, I do not want to live trapped by the clock of my own will. I do not want to measure your faithfulness by the speed of your answers. I do not want to limit your work to my human expectations. I know that you are the eternal God, and I am your creation before you. I see only a piece of the road, but you see the beginning, the middle, and the end. I see the seed hidden in the soil and think nothing is happening, but you see the root growing in silence. I see the closed door and think I have been rejected, but you see deliverance. I see a delay and think it is a loss, but you see preparation. I see a pause, but you see formation. I see silence, but you see depth. Lord, help me believe that waiting is also a place of encounter with you. Help me understand that not every delay is punishment, not every pause is failure, and not every closed door is defeat. Sometimes, Father, you call us into a wilderness not to destroy us, but to reveal what is inside us. Sometimes you allow silence not because you are not speaking, but because you want to teach my heart to recognize your presence beyond words. Sometimes you make me wait not because you are distant, but because you are protecting me from receiving something before I have the maturity to carry it. Lord, I remember Abraham, who received a promise and had to walk by faith before seeing its fulfillment. I remember Joseph, who had dreams that came from you, but went through the pit, slavery, injustice, and prison before reaching the place you had prepared. I remember Moses, who spent years in the wilderness before being called to deliver the people. I remember David, anointed king while still young, but forced to wait in the fields, in caves, through persecution and battles before sitting on the throne. I remember Hannah, who wept for a child, pouring out her soul before you, until in the right time you heard her prayer. I remember Mary, who kept promises in her heart, while she did not understand everything happening around her. And above all, Father, I remember Jesus, your beloved Son, who came into the world at the appointed time, lived in perfect obedience, waited for the right moment to begin his ministry, gave himself on the cross in the time of your will, and rose on the third day, showing that not even death can stop the fulfillment of your purpose. So, Lord, if men and women of faith had to wait, if even your holiest plans were fulfilled at the right time, why would I think it should be different with me? Why would I allow my anxiety to make me forget that you are the same God who opens seas, brings down walls, sustains in the wilderness, feeds with manna, calms storms, restores lives, lifts the fallen, and turns tears into testimony? Father, I want to trust, I want to rest, I want to remain. But I need your grace, because my heart is fragile, my mind becomes restless, my faith sometimes trembles, and the waiting often feels too long. So, my God, hold my hand in this season. Do not let me walk alone through the corridors of uncertainty. When I do not know what to do, guide me. When I do not know what to say, receive my silence as a prayer. When I do not have the strength to rise, sustain me with your faithful right hand. When doubt knocks at the door, remind me of everything you have already done. When anxiety tries to dominate me, breathe over me, your peace that surpasses all understanding. When I feel forgotten, draw me closer to your love. When I feel like giving up, rekindle within me the flame of hope. Lord, I know that waiting reveals many things. It reveals what I truly believe. It reveals where my trust is resting. It reveals whether I seek you only for blessings or whether I desire your presence above all else. It reveals whether my love is patient or conditional. It reveals whether my faith is deep or dependent on immediate answers. And I confess, Father, that sometimes I do not like what waiting reveals in me. Sometimes it exposes my impatience, my fear, my need for control, and my difficulty resting. But I ask you, do not only take me out of the waiting, transform me within it. Do not only change the circumstances around me, change my heart while I go through this season. May this waiting not make me cold. May this waiting not make me bitter. May this waiting not pull me away from prayer. May this waiting not make me doubt your character. May this waiting not extinguish my spiritual sensitivity. On the contrary, Lord, may it draw me closer to you. May it teach me to hear your voice more clearly. May it teach me to value what is eternal. May it teach me to live one day at a time. May it teach me to give thanks before receiving. May it teach me to worship before understanding. May it teach me to rest before seeing. Beloved Father, I place before you what I have been waiting for. You know the name of my waiting. You know exactly what is in my heart. You know that prayer I have prayed many times, perhaps even with the same words. You know that request I carry in silence. You know what moves me, what worries me, what makes me look toward heaven and ask, Lord, when will it be? You know the promises I hold, the dreams I have not told anyone, the pains only you have seen, the nights when I tried to be strong, but inside I felt small and tired. I surrender all of this to you, Lord. I surrender without demanding. I surrender without trying to control. I surrender without trying to pull an answer from your hands before the time. I surrender because I trust that your love is greater than my fear. I surrender because I know you are good. I surrender because your will is perfect, pleasing, and good. I surrender because I do not want to live as a slave to anxiety. I surrender because I know that what comes from you does not need to be forced. What comes from you comes with peace, comes with purpose, comes with confirmation, comes at the right time, comes in the right way, and comes to glorify your name. Lord, many times I wanted to understand every detail of the path, but today I ask you for something deeper. Help me trust, even without understanding. Help me obey even without seeing. Help me walk even without having all the answers. Help me remain faithful even when the scenery appears unchanged. Because I know that faith is not only celebrating after the victory, faith is also remaining before it. Faith is not only giving thanks after the promise is fulfilled, faith is also lifting my hands while the promise is still hidden in the unseen. Faith is saying, Lord, I do not see, but I believe. I do not understand, but I trust. I do not know when, but I know that you know. My God, I pray for all those who are waiting with me, for those waiting for an answer to prayer, for those waiting for healing, for those waiting for restoration in their family, for those waiting for a door of work to open, for those waiting for direction for an important decision, for those waiting for a restored marriage, for a child to return, for reconciliation, for a change that seems impossible, for those waiting to come out of a difficult season, for those waiting for peace after so much struggle, for those waiting for a miracle even without knowing how it will come. Father, visit every weary heart, strengthen every soul that almost gave up, comfort every person who has cried in secret. Remind each of your children that waiting is not the end of the story. Lord, I surrender to you the desire to control people, timing, results, and paths. I surrender the need to predict everything, solve everything, and guarantee everything with my own hands. I recognize that trying to control what belongs to you only increases the weight upon my soul. So in this moment I let go. I let go of what is holding me captive inside. I let go of anxiety about the result. I let go of the fear of falling behind. I let go of the rush to prove something. I let go of the need to understand the reason behind every delay. I let go of expectations that were not born in you. I let go of plans I built without consulting your heart. I let everything go before your altar. And as I let go, Lord, I do not fall into emptiness. I fall into your arms. As I surrender, I do not lose control to chaos. I rest in the government of the sovereign God. As I wait, I am not standing still without purpose. I remain in your hands, being shaped, treated, strengthened, and prepared. Father, may my waiting be fruitful. May it produce humility. May it produce perseverance. May it produce meekness. May it produce discernment. May it produce intimacy with you. May it produce a faith that is not easily shaken. May it produce a heart more like Christ's heart. My God, I know there is a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what was planted, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time for war and a time for peace. And if everything has its appointed time, then I ask you for wisdom to discern the season I am living in. Do not let me try to harvest in the time of planting. Do not let me speak when it is time to be silent. Do not let me run when it is time to rest. Do not let me give up when it is time to persevere. Do not let me bury dreams that you are still preparing to resurrect at the right time. Lord, give me maturity to understand that not every season will be comfortable, but every season in your hands can produce something eternal within me. There are seasons when you prune me, and pruning hurts. There are seasons when you hide me, and being hidden wounds my pride. There are seasons when you make me wait, and waiting confronts my hurry. There are seasons when you silence me, and silence reveals the noise inside me. But I believe that the farmer does not prune the tree to destroy it, but so that it may bear more fruit. I believe that the potter does not press the clay to humiliate it, but to form a useful vessel in his hands. I believe that you do not allow processes without purpose. Father, transform my vision of this season. Where I have seen only delay, show me preparation. Where I have seen only loss, show me deliverance. Where I have seen only silence, show me depth. Where I have seen only closed doors, show me direction. Where I have seen only tears, show me seeds. Because your word teaches me that those who sow in tears shall reap with joy. So receive my tears as seeds before you. Receive every prayer spoken with a trembling voice. Receive every night when I chose not to give up. Receive every small step taken by faith. Receive every effort to remain in you when everything inside me wanted to run somewhere else. Lord, I do not want waiting to make me return to old paths. I do not want to seek shortcuts that pull me away from your will. I do not want to accept just anything simply because I am tired of waiting for the best that comes from you. I do not want to open doors that you have closed. I do not want to force relationships you have not confirmed. I do not want to make decisions driven by desperation. I do not want to confuse hurry with direction. I do not want to trade your promise for immediate relief. Guard me, Father. Guard my heart from dangerous shortcuts. Guard my feet from paths that seem good but do not come from you. Guard my mouth from complaining more than praying. Guard my thoughts from feeding lies. Guard my faith from going out. May I not be like Saul, who did not know how to wait and offered sacrifice outside of obedience. May I not try to take into my own hands what only you can lead. May I not make my fear my counselor. May I not allow the pressure of others to pull me out of the center of your will. Father, sometimes people ask questions, make demands, give opinions, compare, and apply pressure, and the heart feels tempted to act only so it will not appear still. But I ask you, deliver me from living to answer human expectations. Deliver me from making decisions to prove my worth. Deliver me from trying to speed up processes to please people. May my life be guided by your voice, not by the anxiety around me. Lord, when I look back, I want to see that I waited with faith, not with murmuring. I want to remember this season, not only as a difficult phase, but as a place where I came to know you more deeply. I want to be able to say one day, it was difficult, but God was with me. I cried, but God sustained me. I did not understand, but God guided me. I thought it was delay, but it was protection. I thought it was the end, but it was preparation. I wanted to give up, but grace lifted me. Father, write this testimony into my story. Make my waiting a place of transformation. Make my pain an instrument of maturity. Make my prayer a path of intimacy. I ask you, Lord, that while the appointed time has not yet arrived, I would not lose tenderness. May I continue loving. May I continue serving. May I continue sowing. May I continue believing. May I continue being faithful in the small things. May I continue taking care of what you have already placed in my hands, because many times I ask for great doors, but you first call me to be faithful in the secret place. I ask for great answers, but you teach me to value daily obedience. I ask for great changes, but you begin by changing my inner life. So begin in me, Father. Work in me before you work through me. Strengthen my character before you enlarge my territory. Firm my roots before you increase my fruit. Lord, I want to be found faithful when the promise arrives. I do not want to receive the blessing with an unprepared heart. I do not want to enter a new season carrying old, unhealed wounds. I do not want to live the fulfillment of a dream without the maturity to sustain it. So if there is anything in me that needs to be treated before the answer, treat it, Lord. If there is pride, break it with love. If there is fear, heal it with your presence. If there is unbelief, strengthen my faith. If there is anxiety, pour out your peace. If there are old wounds, touch them with your balm. If there is confusion, bring clarity. If there is attachment, teach me to surrender. If there is weariness, renew my strength. Father, I accept being shaped by your hands. Even when the process hurts, I know you are not a cruel God. You are Father. You are good. You are wise. You are faithful. You know exactly what to do with what I surrender to you. You do not waste tears. You do not waste wilderness seasons. You do not waste apparent delays. You do not waste closed doors. You do not waste periods of silence. Everything in your hands can become testimony. Everything in your hands can be redeemed. Everything in your hands can work together for the good of those who love you and are called according to your purpose. Lord, I ask you to deliver me from the illusion that waiting is a waste of time, because in the kingdom, waiting can be a school. In the kingdom, being hidden can be preparation. In the kingdom, silence can be an answer. In the kingdom, the buried seed is not dead. It is being prepared to break through the ground at the right time. Teach me to respect the mystery of your work. Teach me not to pull out of the soil what still needs to take root. Teach me not to abandon the promise just because it has not yet bloomed. Teach me to keep watering with prayer what you have planted in me. Father, when my soul says I cannot take it anymore, may your Holy Spirit answer within me. my grace is sufficient for you. When my mind says nothing will change, may your word declare over me that nothing is impossible with God. When fear says, you are alone, may your love remind me that you will never leave me nor forsake me. When comparison says, everyone arrived before you, may your truth teach me that my times are held in your hands. When sadness says, give up, may hope in Christ rise within me and say, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Lord, I declare before you that I do not want only the answer. I want the God of the answer. I do not want only the blessing, I want to remain close to the blesser. I do not want only open doors. I want to walk with the one who is the way. I do not want only relief. I want transformation. I do not want only for time to pass. I want this time to produce something holy in me. Because what good would it be to receive what I ask for and lose sensitivity to your voice? What good would it be to achieve a dream and drift away from your presence? What good would it be to come out of the waiting without having learned to trust? Father, may my greatest victory not only be seeing something happen on the outside, but perceiving something new being born on the inside. May I leave this season more humble, firmer, more mature, more sensitive, and more dependent on you. May I learn to say, as Jesus said in Gethsemane, Father, not my will, but yours be done. Because this is the most difficult and most freeing prayer. It is difficult because my heart has desires. It is freeing because your will is always better. Even when I do not understand, it is better. Even when it hurts, it is better. Even when it takes time, it is better. Even when it leads me through paths I would not have chosen, it is better. Lord, I surrender to your will. I surrender my calendar. I surrender my plans. I surrender my expectations. I surrender my dreams. I surrender my deadlines. I surrender my urgencies. I surrender my ideas of how everything should happen. I surrender the desire to receive now what you may have prepared for later. I surrender the fear that it will never happen. I surrender the sadness over what has not yet come. I surrender the frustration over what did not turn out as I expected. I surrender everything at your feet, because your feet are a safe place to lay down the weight I can no longer carry. And in this place of surrender, Father, I ask you to teach me to wait with living hope. Not a passive, empty, hopeless waiting, but a waiting full of faith, prayer, vigilance, obedience, and gratitude. May I wait while working on what belongs to me, but resting in what belongs to you. May I wait while doing my part, but without trying to take your place. May I wait with my eyes on heaven and my feet firm on the path. May I wait without losing the joy of salvation. May I wait without abandoning communion with you. May I wait as one who knows that the Father is preparing what is best, even if what is best comes in a different way than I imagined. Lord, visit now the areas of my heart where waiting has hurt me. Maybe I tried to smile on the outside while inside I felt frustrated. Maybe I said everything was fine, but you know there were hidden questions. Maybe I kept serving, working, and walking, but with a silent pain inside my soul. Father, I hide nothing from you. You see me completely. You know what I show and what I keep inside. You know my faith and also my weaknesses. So enter with healing. Enter with comfort. Enter with renewal. Enter with light. Enter with life. May your Holy Spirit minister to my inner being now. May he calm the storms no one sees. May he organize the thoughts scattered by fear. May he strengthen the weakened areas. May he remind me of the promises of your word. May he lead me into truth when lies try to hold me captive. May he intercede for me with groanings too deep for words when I no longer know how to pray. May he teach me to call God Father with confidence, even on the days when I feel too small. Lord, I know there is an appointed time for every purpose, but while the purpose has not yet manifested, form within me a heart determined to remain. While the door does not open, form patience in me. While the promise is not fulfilled, form perseverance in me. While the answer does not arrive, form intimacy in me. While the scenery does not change, form faith in me. While I wait for your work, work first within me, because perhaps the greatest miracle of this season is not only what you will do around me, but what you will do in me. Father, I do not want to leave this prayer the same way I entered it. I want to leave lighter. I want to leave more surrendered. I want to leave firmer. I want to leave with my heart placed once again in your hands. I want to leave remembering that I am not an orphan, I am not lost, and I have not been forgotten. I want to leave with the certainty that my time is in you. I want to leave with my soul breathing hope. I want to leave with my mind resting in your sovereignty. I want to leave with my spiritual eyes open to perceive that even in the interval between the promise and the fulfillment, there is enough grace for each day. Lord, give me the courage to wait without becoming hardened. Give me the humility to wait without demanding. Give me the faith to wait without seeing. Give me the wisdom to wait without stopping living. Give me the strength to wait without giving up. Give me the peace to wait without despairing. Give me the love to wait without drifting away from you. Because waiting when lived with you is not a prison. It is a path of maturity. Waiting when surrendered to you is not defeat. It is preparation. Waiting when illuminated by your presence is not an endless night. It is the dawn before morning breaks. Father, I believe that you still write beautiful stories in difficult times. I believe that you still make flowers bloom in the wilderness. I believe that you still open ways where there is no way. I believe that you still resurrect dead dreams. I believe that you still turn mourning into dancing. I believe that you still honor the silent faith of those who continue waiting in you. And even if I still do not see it, I want to declare, you are good. Even if I still do not understand, I want to declare you are faithful. Even if I am still waiting, I want to declare your timing is perfect. My God, take control of this waiting. Take control of my heart. Take control of my thoughts. Take control of my decisions. Take control of my emotions. May I not be guided by fear, but by faith. May I not be moved by hurry, but by obedience. May I not be dominated by anxiety, but by the peace of Christ. May I not lose myself trying to anticipate tomorrow, but learn to walk with you today with trust, gratitude, and hope. And as I continue before you, Father, I ask that this prayer would not be merely words passing through my lips, but a real surrender rising like incense to your altar. May every sentence be a step closer to your presence. May every tear be welcomed by your love. May every silence be filled by your spirit. May every fear be confronted by your truth. May every anxiety be surrendered to your sovereignty. May every desire be purified by your will. May every waiting season be placed under your grace. Lord, I remain here, not because I have already understood everything, but because I trust the one who knows all things. I remain here, not because the waiting has stopped hurting, but because your presence is greater than the pain. I remain here, not because I have control, but because I have surrendered control to you. I remain here not because I see the fulfillment, but because I know the God who fulfills. And so, with my heart still being worked on, with my faith still being strengthened, with my soul still learning to rest, I continue placing before you everything I am, everything I wait for, everything I fear, and everything I desire, because I know that you are with me in this season. And while your appointed time draws near, I want to learn to walk each day more deeply in your presence, waiting not only for the answer, but being transformed while I wait, being healed while I wait, being strengthened while I wait, being prepared while I wait, until my heart can say with truth, with peace, and with faith, Father, I trust your timing. I rest in your will. I surrender myself to your care, and I remain before you. And I remain before you, Lord, because while I wait, I realize that my soul still needs to learn how to truly rest. Not merely to rest on the outside, not merely to say that I trust while inside I am still restless, but to rest in that deep place where the heart understands that it is safe because it belongs to you. Father, I recognize that many times my mouth declares faith, but my mind is still trying to solve everything on its own. Many times I say I have surrendered, but then I pick the weight back up with my own hands. Many times I pray asking for your will, but I still want everything to happen in my time, in my way, according to the plans I imagined. And that is why I ask you sincerely, teach me to trust without reservation. Teach me to surrender without turning back. Teach me to wait without losing peace. Lord, I know that waiting reveals how dependent I still am on visible answers. It reveals how frightened I become when I am not in control. It shows that sometimes I am more attached to the result than to your presence. But today, Father, I want to change this posture before you. I do not want my faith to be sustained only by external signs. I do not want to love you only when everything is happening as I asked. I do not want to worship you only when doors open. I want to learn to worship you also in the hallway, in the interval, in the process, in the silence, in the time when nothing seems to change, yet you remain God. Beloved Father, there is a silent work that you carry out inside me while I wait. Sometimes I do not notice it, because I am looking outward, searching for changes in the scenery, searching for answers in the circumstances, searching for signs along the way. But while I look outward, you are working within. You are treating my anxiety, strengthening my patience, purifying my motivations, adjusting my desires, teaching me to depend more on you than on the things I ask for. And even if this process hurts, I thank you, because I know that your hand never wounds to destroy. Your hand corrects to heal, prunes to make fruitful, shapes to prepare, and allows the process to form something eternal within me. Lord, give me spiritual eyes to perceive that this time is not useless. This season is not wasted. This waiting is not punishment. This silence is not absence. This interval is not abandonment. Help me see the invisible by faith. Help me understand that before opening a door, you often prepare the heart that will walk through it. Before giving a promise, you mature the one who will receive it. Before lifting someone into a new season, you strengthen their roots in secret. And I do not want only to reach the place of the promise. I want to arrive whole, healed, firm, humble, and dependent on you. My God, if what I am waiting for has not yet come, then guard me from murmuring. Guard me from haste. Guard me from thoughts that try to convince me that nothing will happen. Guard me from the temptation to give up only a few steps before your move. Guard me from seeking shortcuts that seem to relieve the pain, but may pull me away from your will. Guard me from accepting anything out of exhaustion. Guard me from confusing opportunity with purpose. Guard me from making decisions driven by the fear of falling behind. Guard me from opening doors you close to protect me. Guard me from insisting on paths where your peace is not present. Lord, I know that not everything that looks good comes from you. Not every open door is direction. Not every hurry is spiritual urgency. Not every invitation is a calling. Not every opportunity is a blessing. That is why I ask you for discernment. Give me sensitivity to recognize your voice. Teach me to perceive when it is time to move forward and when it is time to remain. When it is time to speak and when it is time to be silent. When it is time to fight and when it is time to rest. When it is time to insist and when it is time to surrender. When it is time to plant and when it is time to wait for the seed to grow in the hidden place of the earth. Father, I confess that waiting sometimes makes me feel small. It feels like the world keeps moving while I remain in a difficult season. It feels like other people move forward, achieve things, receive answers, and experience changes, while I am still here presenting the same prayer, crying over the same causes, asking for the same intervention. But now I reject all comparison. I reject the lie that my life is delayed. I reject the voice that says I have been forgotten. I reject the feeling of inferiority that tries to rise when I look at the journey of others. Lord, every person has a season. Every story has a process, every promise has an appointed time, and my life is in your hands, not on the clock of comparison. My God, deliver me from measuring your faithfulness by the speed with which you answer. Deliver me from thinking that your love has diminished because something has not yet happened. Deliver me from interpreting delay as rejection. Deliver me from thinking you are distant simply because I still do not see changes. Your word shows me that you work in ways the human mind cannot understand. You made Joseph wait for years before revealing the purpose behind his tears. You made David wait between the anointing and the throne. You sustained Israel in the wilderness before bringing them into the promised land. You allowed Lazarus to be in the tomb before revealing the glory of resurrection. So, Father, even when it seems late to my eyes, I believe that you still arrive at the perfect time. Lord, perhaps I have called delay what you call preparation. Perhaps I have called loss what you call deliverance. Perhaps I have called silence what you call depth. Perhaps I have called a closed door what you call protection. Forgive me when my human interpretations tried to judge your eternal ways. Forgive me when my impatience spoke louder than my faith. Forgive me when pain made me forget how faithful you have already been. Forgive me when I allowed a difficult season to erase from my memory so many deliverances, so many answers, so many acts of care, so many times when you arrived at the right moment. Father, bring back to my memory everything that can give me hope. Remind me of the times when I thought I would not endure, but your grace sustained me. Remind me of the doors you closed, and later I understood that it was deliverance. Remind me of the tears that seemed meaningless and later became testimony. Remind me of prayers answered differently than I asked, but better than I imagined. Remind me that you have never failed me. Maybe not everything happened the way I wanted, but you were always present. Maybe not every path was easy, but you never left me alone. Lord, while I wait, strengthen my prayer life. Do not let me pray only out of desperation. Do not let me seek your presence only when the pain becomes intense. May prayer become my place of intimacy, my refuge, my spiritual breathing, my daily encounter with the Father. May I not come before you only to ask for answers, but to be transformed. May I not speak with you only about what is missing, but also about who you are. May I learn to behold your holiness, your goodness, your mercy, your greatness, because when my eyes turn to you, my circumstances lose the power to govern my soul. Father, may I not worship the promise more than I worship the God who promised. May I not love the dream more than I love your presence. May I not place at the center of my heart what should only be in your hands. If any desire has become greater than my surrender, put everything back in its rightful place. If any expectation has begun to occupy the throne that belongs only to you, purify my inner being. If I have sought an answer as if it could save my soul, remind me that my salvation, my peace, and my life are in Christ. And in this moment, Lord, I also want to pray for everyone following this prayer with faith. May every person being touched by these words receive peace, direction, and strength to continue waiting for your timing. And if this prayer is speaking to someone's heart, may that person like this video, comment their faith, write what they are surrendering to God, and subscribe to the channel The Meaning of the Bible to continue receiving words of prayer, hope, and direction through your word. May this gesture not be merely an action on a screen, but also a way of declaring, Lord, I want to remain close to your truth. I want to feed my faith, and I want to walk in your purpose. Beloved Father, I turn my heart completely to you. I know that waiting can be tiring, but I also know that you renew those who wait in you. So breathe new courage over me. Breathe a firmer faith over me. Breathe over me a hope that does not depend on circumstances. May I not live dominated by the when, but sustained by the who. Because I may not know when it will happen, but I know who is with me. I may not know how it will come, but I know who governs all things. I may not understand the process, but I know who leads me. I may not have all the answers, but I know the one who is truth itself. Lord, teach me to wait with a peaceful heart. May my waiting not be filled with rebellion, but with surrender. May it not be marked by complaints, but by growth. May it not turn me into someone hardened, suspicious, and cold, but into someone more sensitive, more broken before you, more attentive to your voice. May I not use delay as an excuse to drift away. May I not use pain as a justification to abandon faith. May I not allow discouragement to steal the joy of being with you. If I must wait, may I wait praying. If I must cross through silence, may I cross worshiping. If I must pass through the valley, may I pass holding your hand. My God, there are places within me that only waiting can reveal. There are hidden impatiences, old fears, poorly healed wounds, deep insecurities, disordered desires and expectations that need to be aligned with your heart. And I ask you, do not only give me what I ask for, prepare me to receive what comes from you. Do not only change my situation, change my vision. Do not only speed up the answer, mature my soul. Do not only open a door, teach me to walk through it with humility. Do not only fulfill a dream, make that dream glorify your name. Lord, I do not want to be someone who seeks you only in need and forgets you in blessing. I do not want to be someone who cries in the process and drifts away in the fulfillment. I do not want to receive from your hands and then live as if everything depended on me. So before the answer arrives, establish my identity in you. Before the promise is fulfilled, teach me to remain at the altar. Before the harvest, teach me to be faithful in the sowing. Before the new season, heal the marks of the old season. Before the open door, strengthen my roots in the secret place, because everything that grows without deep roots can fall at the first strong wind. Father, make my roots grow in you. May my faith not be shallow. May my hope not be fragile. May my spiritual life not depend only on passing emotions. May I be established on the rock, which is Christ. When contrary winds come, may I remain. When difficult news comes, may I remain. When days come without signs, may I remain. When doubts come, may I run to your word. When temptations to give up come, may I remember that you are still writing my story. Lord, I surrender to you the thoughts that repeat themselves and wear me down, those thoughts that ask whether it will work out, whether there is still time, whether I will be able, whether the answer will come, whether you truly heard me. I surrender every anxious thought, every image of fear, every negative scenario my mind has created. May the peace of Christ guard my heart and my thoughts. May your word be louder than the voice of anxiety. May your love be stronger than my insecurity. May your presence be more real than any threat. Father, I also surrender the pain of frustrated expectations. I surrender what I thought would have already happened. I surrender the dates that passed without an answer. I surrender the plans that did not come to pass. I surrender the doors that did not open. I surrender the conversations that did not come. I surrender the changes I expected and still have not seen. Lord, I do not want to carry frustration as if it were part of my identity. I do not want to live trapped in what did not happen. I want to believe that even what did not turn out as I expected can be used by you to lead me into your purpose. Lord, heal in me the hurry that was born from fear. Because many times I am in a hurry, not only because I desire something, but because I am afraid of losing, afraid of falling behind, afraid of not being remembered, afraid of not living what I dreamed. But your love casts out fear. So may your love surround me now. May I rest as a beloved child, knowing that I do not need to run desperately to conquer what only grace can sustain. I do not need to compete for blessings. I do not need to prove my worth through results. I do not need to force the timing, because my Father knows my needs even before I ask. My God, teach me to wait as someone who trusts a Father, not as someone who fears a distant judge. You are not indifferent to my pain. You are not insensitive to my tears. You are not distracted. You are not absent. You are a present Father, a loving Father, a faithful Father. When I cry, you see. When I pray, you hear. When I wait, you work. When I rest, you care. When I do not know the way, you guide me. When I have no strength, you sustain me. When I cannot explain what I feel, your Spirit intercedes for me. Lord, I ask you for patience to live the process without despising the small signs of your goodness. May I perceive your grace in the ordinary day, in the food on the table, in the air entering my lungs, in the opportunity to begin again, in the word that comforts, in the prayer that strengthens, in the friendship that encourages, in the deliverance I may not even have noticed. May I not become so fixed on the great answer that I ignore your daily care. Because even when the promise has not yet arrived, your mercy is renewed over me every morning. Father, thank you for what you have already done. Thank you for what you are doing now, even if I cannot yet see it. Thank you for what you will do at the appointed time. Thank you because my story has not been abandoned to chance. Thank you because no tear is lost before you. Thank you because you turn processes into testimonies. Thank you because waiting does not have the final word. Your will does. Thank you because my life is hidden in Christ, guarded by your love and sustained by your grace. Lord, If the time of waiting still continues, may I continue with you. If there is still a road before the answer, may I walk in obedience. If there is still silence, may I learn to hear you in other ways. If there are still tears, may they water seeds of faith. If there is still a battle, may your strength be made perfect in my weakness. If there is still a wilderness, may I find daily manna. If there is still a valley, may I know that the Good Shepherd is with me. If there is still night, may I wait for the dawn, with the certainty that the light has not been overcome. Father, I do not want my soul to live trapped in the not yet. I want to learn to declare, God is with me now. It has not arrived yet, but God is with me now. It has not changed yet, but God is with me now. I do not understand yet, but God is with me now. I do not see yet, but God is with me now. I am still waiting, but God is with me now. And if God is with me, I am not lost. If God is with me, I am not abandoned. If God is with me, there is hope. If God is with me, there is purpose. If God is with me, there is grace to continue. Lord, take this time and sanctify it. Take my waiting and turn it into an altar. Take my anxiety and turn it into prayer. Take my tears and turn them into seeds. Take my weakness and reveal your strength through it. Take my fears and surround them with your love. Take my questions and cover them with your peace. Take my dreams and align them with your purpose. Take my entire life and make it an instrument of your glory. Because in the end, Father, I know that the waiting is not greater than the God who sustains me. The delay is not greater than your promise. The silence is not greater than your presence. The pain is not greater than your grace. The fear is not greater than your love. And my story is not in the hands of time, but in the hands of the God who created time, governs time, determines time, and makes everything beautiful in its proper time. That is why I remain before you with a heart more open, more broken, and more willing to trust, while your hand continues leading me closer to your will. While your hand continues leading me closer to your will, Lord, I realize that waiting is not only a path toward the answer, but a path toward a more surrendered version of myself. I realize that many times I asked you to change the timing, when in truth, you wanted to change my heart within the timing. I asked for speed, but you wanted to give me depth. I asked for signs, but you wanted to teach me trust. I asked for everything to be resolved quickly, but you wanted to show me that there are things that only mature in the secret place, in silence and in perseverance. Father, I do not want to resist what you are forming in me. I do not want to fight against the process that can draw me closer to you. I do not want to turn my waiting into rebellion, my pain into distance, or my questions into unbelief. I want to surrender. I want to be molded. I want to allow your Holy Spirit to work in the areas that still need healing, adjustment, brokenness, and faith. Because I know, Lord, that your purpose is not only to take me somewhere, but to make me someone after your own heart. My God, I ask you to let this season produce in me a firmer faith. A faith that does not fall apart when the answer takes time. A faith that does not depend only on strong emotions. A faith that is not nourished only by easy moments. A faith that remains on its knees when heaven seems silent. A faith that continues worshiping when the door remains closed. A faith that continues declaring that you are good, even when my eyes cannot yet see the fruit. Lord, form in me a mature, tested, humble, and persevering faith. I know that waiting on you requires courage. It takes courage not to run ahead. It takes courage not to accept shortcuts. It takes courage to say no to what seems good, but does not carry your peace. It takes courage to remain when everything inside me wants to give up. It takes courage to trust when other voices say it is no longer worth it. So, Father, strengthen me within. Give me a courage that is not born from pride, but from trust in you. Give me a firmness that does not come from my own strength, but from your presence dwelling in me. Lord, I now surrender every fear of losing time. I surrender the fear that opportunities will pass me by. I surrender the fear that it is too late. I surrender the fear of not living what I carry in my heart. I surrender the fear of seeing the years go by while the promise still seems far away. Father, I declare that you are God over time. You are not limited by the human calendar. You know how to restore years, open ways, bring life where there seemed to be no possibility, resurrect dreams that appeared buried, and fulfill promises at the exact moment. Do not allow me, Lord, to live tormented by the thought that I am behind. Behind compared to whom? Behind according to what measure? My life is not guided by comparison, but by your will. My path does not need to look like anyone else's path. My season does not need to obey the rhythm of others. My testimony will be written by your hands. So quiet my soul when it wants to measure my worth by results. Quiet my mind when it wants to turn waiting into condemnation. Quiet my heart when it feels pressured by expectations that did not come from you. Father, if it is still time to plant, help me plant with faithfulness. If it is still time to water, help me water with prayer. If it is still time to grow in silence, help me not to despise the hidden place. If it is still time to learn, help me be humble. If it is still time to be treated, help me not to run from your loving discipline. If it is still time to wait, help me wait with hope. Because I do not want only to pass through this season. I want to pass through it with you, learning what you desire to teach me. Lord, I surrender before your wisdom. I recognize that I do not always know how to ask as I should. Sometimes I ask for something before the right time. Sometimes I desire something I am not yet ready to receive. Sometimes I insist on paths that seem right in my own eyes, but do not lead to life. Sometimes I want immediate answers, without realizing that the delay is protecting me from greater pain. So, Father, correct my desires. Purify my motivations. Align my will with your will. Make me desire what you desire for me. I do not want, Lord, to receive a blessing and then lose myself in it. I do not want to reach a dream and abandon the altar. I do not want to enter a new season with an old, wounded, proud, or anxious heart. Prepare me before you promote me. Heal me before you lead me to greater places. Teach me before you entrust me with greater responsibilities. Strengthen my character before you enlarge my influence. May nothing that comes into my hands occupy the place that belongs only to you. Father, I ask you to let this waiting tear out of me everything that does not align with your kingdom. Tear out the impatience that makes me complain. Tear out the anxiety that makes me anticipate pain. Tear out the pride that makes me want to control everything. Tear out the comparison that makes me despise my own story. Tear out the unbelief that makes me doubt your care. Tear out the fear that paralyzes me. Tear out the murmuring that contaminates my gratitude. Tear out every disordered attachment to results, people, plans, and deadlines. And in place of all these things, plant in me the fruit of your Spirit. Plant love so I do not become hardened. Plant joy so I do not live enslaved by circumstances. Plant peace so my soul is not ruled by the storm. Plant patience so I may know how to wait without losing faith. Plant kindness and goodness so pain does not make me bitter. Plant faithfulness so I remain firm. Plant gentleness so I do not fight against your hand. Plant self-control so I am not guided by haste, but by the wisdom that comes from above. Lord, I also ask you to teach me to recognize your care during the waiting. May I not become so focused on what has not yet arrived that I lose sight of the beauty of what you are already doing. May I notice the small deliverances, the small answers, the small comforts, the small signs of grace along the way, because you do not care for me only on the day of great victory. You care for me every morning, in every breath, in every step, in every tear you wipe away, in every renewed strength when I thought I could not continue. Thank you, Father, because even while waiting, I am not empty. Even while waiting, I have your word. Even while waiting, I have your Spirit. Even while waiting, I have access to your throne of grace. Even while waiting, I can worship. Even while waiting, I can be transformed. Even while waiting, I can grow. Even while waiting, I can testify that your presence is enough to sustain my soul. Lord, when I am weak, remind me that those who wait on you renew their strength. When I am confused, remind me that your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. When I am afraid, Remind me that you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When I am tired, remind me that Jesus calls the weary and burdened to find rest in him. When I feel alone, remind me that you are with me always, even to the end of the age. Father, I do not want my prayer to be only a request for outward change. I want it to be a deep surrender. So I surrender what I still do not understand. I surrender the unanswered questions. I surrender the promises that seem distant. I surrender the dreams that have not yet bloomed. I surrender the areas of my life where I wanted to see movement but still see silence. I surrender the people I love and cannot change. I surrender the doors I cannot open. I surrender the paths I cannot control. I surrender everything because I know that in your hands even what seems still is under purpose. Lord, if I must wait longer, help me not to wait wounded against you. Help me not to turn my frustration into distance. Help me not to pray with accusation as if you had abandoned me. Help me remember that you are Father, and that a loving Father also says, "Not yet," when he knows the time has not come. Give me maturity to receive the yes, humility to accept the no, and faith to rest in the wait. Because all your answers are guided by love, wisdom, and purpose. My God, heal the pain of delay. Heal the marks that remained when I waited and became disappointed. Heal the memories of doors that closed, plans that did not happen, dreams that seemed certain and fell apart. Heal the part of me that is afraid to wait again. Heal the part of me that wants to protect itself by no longer dreaming. Heal the part of me that thinks it is better not to have expectations in order not to suffer. Father, restore in me a holy hope, balanced and rooted in you, not in illusions but in the certainty that you are still good. Lord, I want to learn to wait without stopping living. Many times waiting tries to freeze the soul, as if life could only continue after the answer arrives. But today I ask you, teach me to live today with gratitude. Teach me to serve today. Teach me to love today. Teach me to take care of what is in my hands today. Teach me to obey today. Teach me to find joy in you today. May tomorrow be in your hands, but may my heart be faithful in the present. Father, may I not waste this season complaining about what is missing. May I use this time to draw closer to you, to grow in the Word, to strengthen my prayer life, to practice gratitude, to heal wounds, to mature decisions, to develop spiritual discipline, and to learn to hear your voice more clearly. When the answer comes, may it find in me a prepared heart. And if the answer comes differently than I imagined, may I have enough faith to recognize that your thoughts are higher than my thoughts, and your ways are higher than my ways. Lord, I declare that I no longer want to be a slave to haste. Haste steals my peace, makes me impatient, causes me to rush processes, leads me to make decisions without prayer, and makes me want to control what belongs to you. But trust gives rest back to me. Faith teaches me to breathe. Hope makes me continue. Your presence reminds me that I do not need to live in despair. So, Father, exchange my haste for peace. Exchange my anxiety for trust. Exchange my fear for security in your love. Exchange my restlessness for rest in Christ. My God, I confess that sometimes I want answers so I can feel safe, but you call me to find safety in you. Sometimes I want guarantees, but you call me to walk by faith. Sometimes I want to understand the entire path, but you give me light for the next step. And perhaps this is today's miracle, not knowing everything but trusting enough to take the next step with you. Not having all the answers, but having your presence. Not seeing the end of the process, but knowing that you are already there. Father, strengthen those who are listening to this prayer and feel that hope is almost going out. Lift up those who have fallen on the inside. Comfort those who have cried in silence. Embrace those who feel forgotten. Give direction to those who are confused. Give peace to those who are anxious. Give strength to those who are tired. May every heart now perceive that waiting is not a sign of abandonment, but can be the place where you are forming deep roots. May every person be reminded that your love remains firm, even when life feels uncertain. Lord, I pray for the one who is waiting for an answer of healing. May your presence visit their body, mind, and soul. I pray for the one who is waiting for restoration in the family. May you reach hearts, heal wounds, break resistance, and bring reconciliation according to your will. I pray for the one who is waiting for a professional door to open. May you open the right path and close everything that does not come from you. I pray for the one who is waiting for direction. May your voice be clear and may the peace of Christ confirm each step. I pray for the one who is waiting to be delivered from a heavy season. May you break chains, light the way, and renew their strength. Father, I also pray for the one who has been waiting for something for so long that they are now afraid to even mention it. You know that pain. You know the prayer that was kept deep within the soul. You know the request that has already been made with too many tears. Visit that deep place. Show that nothing is forgotten before you. And if the answer is different from what this person imagined, give peace to trust. If the answer is still being prepared, give strength to remain. If something needs to be healed first, heal it. If something needs to be surrendered, help them surrender. If something needs to die so that something new may be born, give grace to go through that process with you. Lord, I want to reach the climax of this surrender by saying with truth, let your will be done, not only when it agrees with mine, not only when it confirms my plans, not only when it fulfills my desires exactly as I imagined, but let your will be done because you are God, because you are Father, because you are good, because you know what I do not know, because you see what I do not see, because you love me more deeply than I can understand. I surrender myself completely to your timing. I surrender the now, I surrender the later. I surrender what has passed and still hurts. I surrender what is still to come and frightens me. I surrender my most beautiful dreams and my most hidden fears. I surrender my desire to control and my difficulty resting. I surrender my whole soul before you. Take it, Lord. Heal, shape, guide, sustain, prepare. And when the appointed time comes, may I receive what comes from you with gratitude, humility, and maturity. And if you lead me on a different path, may I trust that your will is better than any plan I could build on my own. Father, I choose to wait on you, not because it is easy, but because you are faithful. Not because I do not feel pain, but because your grace sustains me. Not because I understand everything, but because I trust your character. Not because I see all the answers, but because I know your eyes are upon me. I choose to wait with faith. I choose to wait with prayer. I choose to wait with gratitude. I choose to wait with hope. I choose to wait without letting go of your hand. And as I continue in this prayer, may my soul be strengthened by the certainty that everything has its appointed time and that no purpose of yours can be frustrated. May I not fear the interval. May I not despise the process. May I not run from formation. May I not abandon the faith. May I remain firm, knowing that the God who began the good work is faithful to complete it. May this waiting become testimony. May this pain become growth. May this season become an altar, and may my entire life glorify your name. Lord, I continue before you, more surrendered, more broken, and more aware that waiting for your timing is also learning to rest in your love. And if this prayer has touched your heart, like this video, comment with faith what you are placing in God's hands, and subscribe to the channel The Meaning of the Bible to continue walking in prayer, hope, and strength through the word of the Lord.